you know, because people call this granite, you know, they call it like pink granite, and this is not granite, people. It just literally looks like that this was some type of sludge, you know, lime, like a lime quarry. It's all just sludged up and then changed over time, or when the creator took this place out. But it looks like areas of bone of the giants have been in here and that they're falling out. Okay, and we'll move on, and I will try and prove that to you further. This is actually the handprint, right? A human being couldn't even wrap his hand around that stone there. It's a diorite ball, that's what they say that this is turned into now. It's the pieces I've just been showing you. So this fingerprint of this humanoid is absolutely enormous, because that's what that is. It absolutely is, and it's the reason why I started this channel. The second video I made, you can go back and look, and it would, you know, 2.5 years ago I made a video specifically on this artifact because nobody else had shown it before, and it's absolutely obvious what it is. This actually could have been the middle finger, and the pointing finger has left that imprint there, as this thing has been squeezed into shape for reasons I might get into. This is an area further around, and you can see where they've been squeezing this thing into shape. I'll get more into that. You can go inspect the images on my Google page. So this is the so-called obelisk, and this image and what I've just shown you leaves you in no doubt, 110% and rising, that this thing has been squeezed into shape for whatever reason by humanoids of enormous size. The size of the handprint I've just shown you at Sacsayhuaman on that block. So if you can imagine a giant reaching his hand down here and squeezing this thing into shape like that, like you would do, as you crush this, right, and force your fingers back, it would actually dig this area out first. It's just the way that your bones operate. So this bit would go like that, and then this bit here, yeah. So as you're squeezing this thing into shape and moving your fingers backwards and forwards, it would actually dig this area out deeper than here, and it's exactly what you see, people, which leaves me in no doubt, and I will never ever change my mind on this, that these are fingerprints, handprints from giants of enormous size. This is the area that I showed you, and I said it looks like a footprint, yeah. You know, so if you can imagine them wearing something like sandals, they would actually be about that size. I'm not quite sure, you know, look, there's certain areas where I know, like the fingerprints I've just shown you, that's what they are. And then other areas look like tyre prints of, you know, monster trucks, diggers, something like that. I will show you more. The areas I'm going to show you now could either be any of these. It could have been something like this, you know, like what's on the side of a tank, or tyres. I want you to remember that the tread on these tyres are actually hollow inside here, yeah. You know, they're not filled in, because the imprints I'm going to show you, they would have to be shaped like this, because they're backward. I will show you what I mean. Yeah, I couldn't find the exact tyre print what I'm going to show you, but there are many. This is at Aswan quarry again, and this is a tyre print, or a track of something that ran over this when it was almost clay. You can see where it's pushed it up at the side and down here, and these are the prints, yeah. But again, they would have to be hollow inside for them to be like this, because they're backward. These are meant to be pushed down, aren't they? But there's many types of prints, unless this was some type of track or tyre that got laid out on the floor and left an imprint. I don't know which it is, but there's no doubt in what it is in the first place. This is the reason why I've made another video on this area for you, because I've had this image a while. It's just been buried, I couldn't find it. But this area here again leaves you in no doubt that we're looking at tyre prints or track prints, and that's what they are, exactly them. Because, and the reason why I know is because these are actually shaped like 50p pieces, like hexagons, and as it's got closer to this wall, it started shaping another hexagon there, but because the wall wasn't in the way, it's only shaped half of it. Yeah, do you understand that? It couldn't roll any further and carve another piece out, and it's just left its imprint. That, I mean, look, it's subtle findings like that that prove to me the paradigms that I present to you. Okay. Yeah, with this area, it just looks like if it was in fact a tyre or something, it turned round on that zone there. And obviously this is something modern. I think it was something like, you know, some sort of clay or lime that turned hard over time and went through a lot of heat at the end of some era. But you can see how this site had been used before. All these were in fact tyre prints, and as this place got flooded over, it got filled in again because there's no reason for that line to be round there. These lines stop here and they don't follow on up here. So this has been dumped on here since this. Do you understand that? So these are two different images, and you can see the line there. You see these are shaped, and then that runs all the way around there. This has been dumped on top of here. Yeah, that's a single image of the fingerprint again, and you can see where they've been grinding this stuff out, and that it was in fact sand. Why it's like this, I don't know. I mean, you know, did this giant try digging somebody out of this when this event occurred? Maybe. That is in fact, it is in fact a fingerprint, and why it's shaped like a finger. And this area here is where the rest of the fingers were, because if you were to stick your finger inside something, you would actually make that shape, yeah, but with your left hand, and if you as you shoved it in, it would leave an imprint there, and that would be a pointing finger. And again, as he's been shoving his fingers down here, fingerprints, if you stick your fingers in something soft, they actually go pointed towards the end like teardrops. They don't leave perfect circles because your skin squeezes into a point. If you don't believe me, you can go test everything that I'm telling you. This is something I've just found now, and they're trying to prove to visitors that this was a quarry used by the so-called Egyptians, and that they were carving baths out of here. But what are these things here? Why are these here and turned to the same material as this? It's as if this used to be something else, and it's leached this in the flood or whatever event it was, and it's turned into this. These are actually, I mean, they look like giant screws, don't they? That they've just turned into this material. That's deceiving. It says modern 2010. This is meant to be ancient. These are from either the exact same piece or from the same museum. That has been put on by some other person who downloaded these images, but they look like giant screws, don't they? Very strange. This is actually an image from Aswan quarry, and you can see what type of event took place and devastated this place. And I mean, it looks like melting, you know, something like it ended in a fervent heat, something like a Sodom and Gomorrah event. This area, they try to point out that they removed an obelisk from here, but the markings aren't on this. This is something else. This to me actually just looks like an imprint. As this stuff was hardening, something rotted away in here, like wood or something like that, and it's just left an imprint. This is how mainstream archaeology. Well, if you like that, ladies and gentlemen, and you want to help the channel moving forward, you can press on the link in a pinned comment, which will be in every video from now on. Thank you.